Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Getting Your Business Online, Insights, Online Reputation and Google. My name is Giovanna Lever and I will be your presenter today. This webinar is part of the webinar series Sparrowly Group delivers under its Build Better Business program. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the various lands on which we all work and meet today, and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people participating in this session. I would like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Now, we welcome you to revisit this recording and share it with colleagues and other business owners. So we can get right into it and you can focus on the content. I'm going to turn my video off and we'll get started. So in this session, we will cover the importance of understanding the reach and efforts of your digital marketing by looking at your insights, tips on how you can best manage your Google My Business profile, and maximizing your online reputation through reviews. To really maximize getting your business online, you need to be able to understand insights and the reach and outcomes of your digital presence and any marketing activities. A business is successful when it reflects and learns on what's working and what's not, and looking at data. It doesn't need to be scary, but I understand how it could feel scary if this is the first time you've seen slides like this and data like this. Before diving in, it's important to work backwards by asking questions around what information you want to know or need to know. Otherwise, you're just looking at a pile of numbers. Some thought starters on this could include, how many visitors do I get to my website and how long are they staying? Now, the length of time is called the bounce rate. Now, that's the percentage score out of 100, and a high bounce rate means that visitors aren't staying on your website for long. Knowing this is important, as a high bounce rate will be one of the first telltale signs that something is wrong with your content or the marketing messages that you're pushing. For example, have you ever received an email from your favorite retailer, say, and then you click on their website from the email to not be taken to the exact page you were expecting? Who has the time to go fishing for this information? This has happened to me quite a lot, particularly when there's a particular dress, for instance, that the email has, got me excited about, and then it doesn't click through to that particular dress. And then I just jump off and then abort my shopping experience. Perhaps you want to understand which social media platform or what type of content is getting the most traction. Now, you could run a series of social media posts across a month consistently with a call to action to see if you can see spikes that may correlate with those posts. For example, with Sparrowly Group, we know that when we send out a newsletter or promote a new blog or a program, we see a significant spike in our website traffic. By adopting a test and learn approach to marketing, you're able to refine and make constant improvements to your marketing. But don't set and forget. The data will change based on your activities, customer behaviors, and market trends. Online performance can only be achieved by being clear in terms of what you want to achieve and reviewing the data to see if you are achieving the results and tweaking your marketing activity. You've got to watch the insights to see what is working and what isn't. Now, a great tip is to review your platforms monthly and look at how you're tracking and make small iterative changes as you go. Don't be afraid to ask yourself the question, what happens if we try this? And then try it and see, test and learn. Now, let's talk about some of your most valuable assets. An analytics dashboard can be overwhelming at the best of times, but it is the best and easiest and quickest way to test if what you're doing on your website or your social media channel is working. So on Facebook, Instagram, or any other social media platform, you want to know the following: your optimum time of day to post. Do you just post whenever it is convenient for you? Your most popular post last week, month, or year? What actually worked? And your least popular post from last week, last month, or last year? What didn't work? And what could you learn from it? And the difference between reach, engagement, and impressions. Across different platforms, sometimes the meaning or term may be different, so it's always good to check and look it up yourself. Generally speaking, though, on social media insights from Facebook or Instagram, in a nutshell, engagement is definitely the North Star of where you need to get to. It's a combination of reach, likes, and comments to see how engaged your audience is with the message you're sharing. The more engaged they are, the more likely they are to buy from you, come and stay, or recommend you to their friends. Now, the reach of your content is the number of people who see your content. Normally, it can be quite large, mostly because of the privacy settings of your followers. If they have an open setting, their friends will see if they like one of your posts, and the post will then come up in your feed. Online reach can be organic, that is free content, or paid through a Facebook ad, for instance. And impressions. Now, impressions are the number of times your content is displayed. So remember, engagement, being the combination of reach, likes, and comments, is the most important piece of data here, and that's your North Star. It's important to track all these areas. Now, as I mentioned, engagement is arguably the most important of the three metrics to pay attention to when you're measuring social media success. Now, this is because engagement is the only one of the three terms to involve the user directly. Having someone simply see your content, and that's impressions, that's one thing, but involving them and moving them to take action is another. So liking, sharing, commenting. Also on social media, you'll be able to have a better understanding of your followers and their demographics, where they live, how old they are, their gender, and this is all relevant information to keep track of. So moving on to other analytics you can track. It's important for you to spend time opening a Google Analytics account when you set up your website, but it's not too late to do this if you have a website already. Whilst most website platforms will have analytic tools, and they're generally pretty good, especially Squarespace and WordPress, Google Analytics will also provide a level of insight and is particularly useful, especially if you intend to look at paid search. So that's search engine marketing, like Google AdWords. Now, it can include visits, and that is how many unique visits you've had to your website. If somebody heads there multiple times, it will only count as one. Traffic sources. This is about where they're coming from and geography breakdowns. Referral domains, which websites they're coming from. So you can track if a Google search is driving them there, or if they're coming from somewhere else like Facebook, etc., or whether it was direct, where they've just typed in your web address. To help understand and utilize the Google Analytics dashboard, you want to first define what your goal is of what you want to know, and then you want to alter the data to answer that question. So 3 points here to consider. Is it understanding the customer journey and path to purchase? What is the conversion rate? Or is it taking a step back and understanding their journey to awareness and understanding how someone found you? Or is it somewhere in between, that is understanding how engaged your audience is? If you're looking at the awareness goal, understanding the acquisition score and medium is the place to look. For looking at engagement, you want to understand the number of visits, popular pages, time on page, sessions, bounce rate, and exit rates. So I'll just repeat that again. You want to understand the number of visits, popular pages, time on page, sessions, bounce rate, and exit rates. The completion and path to purchase is based on what your business output is. So it may be a sale of product or service, booking of experience, or reaching out as an inquiry. Now, the Google Search Console is another great tool to test the performance of your website against performance and search words. Google Search Console is a free service offered by Google that helps you monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence in Google search results. Now, you should be aware of it to become familiar with the basics of optimizing your site for search engines and know what features are available in Google Search. That's a great way to see what search keywords are being used, impressions on it, and the click-through rate to your site. Now, Google also delivers a bunch of courses on the basics of setting up your dashboard and what may work best for you. Because I can understand, hearing all of this from me today might feel just a little bit overwhelming, but I would definitely recommend going to do the Google Digital Garage course. Now, the Google Digital Garage offers excellent free online courses that are easy to understand for all levels. Now, you will most likely also have access to your website and content management system analytic dashboards. And some of them have really solid data. So at Sparrowly Group, we use Squarespace, and it's great to see visits to the website, sources, and really deep dive on per page information on views, bounce rate, and exit rates with some really rich data. Similarly, other content management systems or CMSs have great insight dashboards, WordPress being another. So have a look at the back end of your website to see what insights that you have access through your CMS. Now, looking monthly at your analytics across social media, your website, Google Analytics can really paint a picture of trends and determine what content works best and what areas need to be improved on. Oops. So let's move on to Google My Business. So the next area of getting your business online, and one which helps in managing your online reputation, is by maximizing your Google My Business listing. Now, with the vast majority of consumers using Google to aid in research and buying decisions, listing your business appropriately is one of the most important marketing steps a small business can take. And best of all, it's free of charge. So a Google My Business listing provides potential customers easy access to your general business information. By providing your customers a snapshot of your business quickly and easily, it makes it simpler for them to contact you. It is important for ranking to ensure your listing is filled out as completely as possible. Now, if it isn't filled out entirely, it can be penalized by Google's ranking algorithm, and customers are less likely to trust the information. So let's go through the areas that you need to fill out for your Google My Business. And of course, first you need to make sure you have set up your profile or claimed your business listing. Ensure you fill out all necessary information sections so users know what you do, where you are, and when they can visit, with as much detail as possible, but not limited to your category and attributes. So including important keywords and search phrases to your business listing will be incredibly helpful, especially since your business website is listed directly within your Google My Business listing. Now, it sounds obvious, but verify your business locations so they're more likely to show in local search results across Google products. Google Maps. Now, once your address is verified, your business will show up on Google Maps, showing in Google's local 3-pack. So this is a prominent map listing that presents to consumers the 3 businesses Google considers most relevant to the query and search's location and of the highest quality. Phone number. This is so important for people to reach you in and out of hours of operation. Most importantly, though, is making sure the number is correct and consistent across all of your digital platforms. And then, of course, your website. Include ways for consumers to find out more information about you, so link in your website. Hours of operation. You need to keep your listing as accurate and up-to-date as possible by updating your business hours regularly, including when you open and close, and special hours for holidays and events. Accurate hours information lets shoppers know when you're available, and it gives them confidence that your business will be open when they arrive. Let's talk about photos now. Provide a deeper look at your business. Make your listing as engaging as possible by adding photos and videos to showcase your goods and service. Photos help business listings performance more than most business owners probably realize. Businesses with photos on their listings receive 42% more requests for driving directions on Google Maps and 35% more click-throughs to their website than businesses without photos. So add your products and services using the product catalog and link in your booking platform. All right, let's talk about reviews and responses on My Google Business. So you then have your review ratings, which of course should be responded to. Now, we'll go into this in a bit more detail, but you should be responding to reviews that users leave about your business. When you reply to reviews, it shows that you value your customers and their feedback. High quality, positive reviews from your customers can improve your business visibility and increase the likelihood that a shopper will visit your location. Star rating. Now, the star rating boosts your appeal and ensure you rank higher in results and increase traffic and sales. Now, talking about profile. To improve your local ranking on Google, you need to update your business information for better visibility to ensure that your business information in your business profile is accurate, complete, and engaging. Now, there are some sections that take a bit more time and thought, but are really important for really boosting your listing, including postings, category, and attributes from the business and questions and answers. So the owner-generated queries. Local results favor the most relevant results for each search. Businesses with complete and accurate information are easier to match with the right searches. So make sure you keep your information up to date as your business changes. And then there's postings. So post frequently through the platform with business updates and answer customer questions. You will need to add this into your overall content management and marketing strategy and calendar to post on Google fortnightly or monthly at the very least. And then social media links and profiles. Facebook, Instagram here as an example, and also link your YouTube profile if you have it. Google owns YouTube and Google likes Google, so this will help with search rankings. Over the last several years, Google has made tremendous strides with available analytical data for Google My Business listings. Insights that you can pull include how customers find your listing, where customers find you on Google, customer actions, for example, what are they doing? Do they view then your website or are they viewing your contact information? And also information around map direction requests and phone calls. So super, super important and so easy and free. So another area of getting your business online is being aware of and managing your online reputation. So what is online reputation management? Online reputation management is the practice of monitoring what is being said about your business by customers online. By monitoring, you can access and control the perception of reputation of your business in the digital space. This includes reviews and social media sites. Managing your online reputation allows you to be aware of what is being said about your business online and show your potential customers that you care about your business and that you want them to have a great experience. The web has evolved into a giant social community where people interact and exchange ideas. Just as they would do with friends in an offline environment, online users ask peers for advice and trust users more than they trust ads. 92% of consumers use online reviews to guide most of their ordinary purchasing decisions, and reviews are the second most trusted form of advertising. Some key review sites, depending on your industry sector, include Google for local business reviews, Facebook for business reviews on your page and comments and posts about your business, TripAdvisor, which was originally set up for accommodation, but now includes tours, attractions, and restaurants, and accommodation review sites, including booking.com, whatif.com, Airbnb, and Stays. Restaurant review sites include Urban Spoon or Eatability as an example. To keep track of your digital presence and any stories that may appear about your business, I'd suggest setting up a Google alert of your business name. Sparrowly Group has one as well. So Google Alerts is an easy to use tool that automates this process. So you set up alerts for as many keywords as you want, and Google sends you an email whenever a new mention of that keyword appears online, along with a link to that location. Now, to keep track of social media mentions or other comments, there are a range of social media listening or monitoring platforms that you can use, including Social Mention, Hootsuite, Meltwater, or Sprout Social. And basically, these platforms aggregate user-generated content. More broadly, there are platforms like Review Pro, which you can sign up for and keep track of your online reputation and aggregate guest feedback. But before you look into these sites, I'd suggest doing as much as you can yourself first and setting up regular calendar reminders to go across your channels, which offer reviews, feedback, to keep track of your comments and, importantly, respond. Staying passive to reviews is not an option. We know it feels great when you get a positive review and daunting to receive feedback, but we encourage you to embrace review sites and use them to your advantage. Dealing with reviews is another important element that you need to consider in your marketing plan. As a business owner, it's important to remember that when responding to reviews online, it's a public forum and everyone will see it. So remember that you should be responding to reviews, both positive and negative. You want to set a precedent across all your channels of responding. Don't just respond on Facebook, but then not on Google, for instance. Here are just a few examples of responding to reviews. So I'll give you a minute or so just to have a little bit of a read there. All right, so let's look at best practices for responding to reviews. First of all, read guidelines on your platform so that your responses will be published without necessary delay. Respond promptly. Reply in a timely manner to add your perspective on the situation to the original review and demonstrate your commitment to customer service. Say thank you and express your appreciation to guests who have taken the time to write about their experience. Be original in your reply. Personalize your comments and avoid using the same stock standard responses. Highlight the positive. Reinforce review highlights and mention related services or upgrades that might interest returning or potential guests. And address specific questions. Explain what you have done to address problems so that the reviewer and potential guests are reassured that issues have been taken seriously and resolved. And finally, be polite and professional. Remain courteous. You are representing your property and your business. You should demonstrate that all feedback, positive and negative, is important to you. Customers look for patterns. If the same issue keeps coming up in multiple reviews, it's more important than ever to tell your full customer service and problem-solving story. Let's look at a good review response. They're polite and responding promptly to try and resolve the issue offline. So have a little read of that. So that's a good review response. Let's look at a poor response. Basically, you don't want to do this and you don't want to be dismissing the issue. You want or explain the pain point again. Unfortunately, this is life. You can't please everyone and you are likely to receive negative reviews. Here are some reasons why you may receive a negative review. Perhaps you're attracting the wrong customer to your business. Perhaps you're overpromising and under-delivering or annoying your customers, or that they've had a negative staff experience. Some ways to deal with negative reviews are respond promptly, really, really important. Acknowledge the customer's complaint, apologize and empathize by taking responsibility. Admit your mistake and correct inaccuracies by providing an explanation of what happened. You don't need to justify it, just keep to the facts. Write like a person, not as a corporation. Put the heart and the face into your review response. Highlight your strengths and see if you can offer some sort of restitution if it's warranted to make it right. And finally, take the discussion offline by providing a direct email or phone number. So how do you get more reviews? Some guests will leave a review for you without being asked. To encourage customer advocacy, you simply need to deliver an outstanding experience to your customers. Now, the best way to encourage reviews is simply to ask. Now, you can do this in person as they're checking out or departing your activity or your business, or leaving a restaurant. Try and have a sign at your business door as an example. You can provide links to review sites on flyers, business cards, guest accounts as an example. You can also do this online with post-visit follow-up emails, and on social media you can set up a template and send that with links to your preferred review sites and have links in your email signatures. Or ask if they could leave a review on the site they booked through. Most sites will automatically do this for you too. So let's recap. That's pretty much it from me, but let's recap on what we covered off today. First of all, be clear on what information you want and need to know. Review the insights and adapt your sales and marketing. Continue this as part of your business improvement loop. Get your Google My Business listing up and update it regularly. Reviews are a critical part of your sales and marketing mix. Please don't ignore them, and also don't be afraid of them. They can be your most powerful and cheapest conversion tool. Essentially, it's online word of mouth. So resources from this webinar include Google Digital Garage and the link through to that. So you'll see a page here and you can just click on that, will take you straight there. How to set up your Google My Business listing, so step by step. Google Business Profile Help Center details and details for the Google Analytics Academy. So we're also here to help. So at any point, if you've got any questions, just reach out after watching this, but we have had a few questions that have come through. So let's start with the first one. Should I delete any negative reviews? Well, in most cases, this isn't possible and it's not recommended. The best approach is to respond appropriately to the review and encourage past customers to leave positive reviews. Building new positive reviews will move the negative reviews off page 1 of the reviews page. Someone else has asked, I find Google Analytics so overwhelming and most of the dashboards. How can I actually understand what I want to find? We completely hear you. I absolutely get it. It can be really overwhelming, but the good thing is that there are so many resources available to help simplify and streamline insights. So have a look at the resources that we've mentioned and that are linked with this webinar and work your way through them in your own time. Just focus on one platform at a time rather than trying to keep across the insights of every platform. And most importantly, define what your goal is. If you just want to know how many people are looking at your website or channel, you start with the data around visitors. And finally, a question around reviews. Is it a good idea to pay or reward people to leave me reviews? Simply, no. And it is actually against the terms and conditions of most review sites. The best thing to do is to get those reviews, is to provide an awesome experience for your guests, your customers, and then ask them to post a review. So as we finish up today, please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions via the email address on the screen, mentoring@sparrowlygroup.com. We're here to help at any time. Thanks so much for your time and go for it.